7:30.
Good evening, and welcome to the Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 meeting of the Clark Council Township. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Councilman Hund.
Here.
Councilman Mazzarella is absent. Councilman Minetti.
Here.
Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Toll.
Here.
Council President Albanese.
Here. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, as adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing the annual schedule of meetings to the Star Ledger, Union County Hawk, Union County Local Source, and Tappan to Clark, by posting such annual meeting schedule on the bulletin board in Town Hall reserved for such announcements, the official website of the township, and the proper filing of said notice. Formal action may be taken at this meeting.
Thank you. I'd like a motion to suspend the regular order of business. Thank you, Councilman Toll. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Minetti. All in favor? Aye. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call upon Ralph Bernardo for the presentation of the Volunteer of the Year Award.
Good evening. So many residents offer their services and volunteer their time to help the Recreation Department throughout the year. We are so appreciative to all the parents that coach teams, hold classes, help set up for major events, and general help whenever I reach out. There's not much we can do to show how much we appreciate the help except to publicly recognize these individuals and thank them for going above and beyond continuously. I, along with the mayor and council, created, support, and promote the Volunteer Resident of the Year Award. I am beyond happy and proud to present our 10th year recipient for this year, none other than Kim Baglieri. I got Kim here on false pretenses. I'm sorry. I had to lie.
Oh, and I feel bad that I want to go home.
The decision was an easy one for the committee. The mayor and myself, Kim has been volunteering her time to the Recreation Department, UNICO, and the Township of Clark ever since she moved into Clark. She takes part in every area of setup, cleanup, for the tree lighting, trunk or treat, the Easter egg hunt, UNICO Italian feast. I can go on and on and on. Whenever there's an event in town or in recreation, Kim is always there and the first one to reach out. She has been a huge advocate of supporting the schools as well. You can almost always see Kim running fundraisers for the schools, even ever since her son John was a little boy, and John's in his third year of college. So, and now her daughter Erica is an 8th grader. Kim is involved in coaching her daughter's soccer team in the fall and all Comf school activities. She currently is coaching rec basketball and indoor soccer. She never looks for any recognition of any kind, but does it from the heart, generously for the love of her children and the love of the town. She exemplifies the meaning of hard work, dedication, loyalty, and especially giving of herself and not expecting anything in return. On a personal level, I have known Kim for over 20 years. I hold her and proud to call her my special friend. I'm a little saddened because there's little rumors that she is leaving us and moving to Florida this summer. But for right now, she's with us, and it is great pride and pleasure to present Kim with this plaque. Angel.
I'm so mad that she's not here.
You have to turn around, please. The plaque reads, Volunteer of the Year Award presented to Kim Baglieri for unselfishly volunteering your time to the Clark Recreation Department in the Township of Clark. On behalf of the mayor, council, and township employees, we appreciate and thank you for all you have done. January 21st, 2025. Which way you want us?
Go in front.
And you know what you have to do. You have anything to say?
Please.
I just want to say, like Ralph said, my son is going to be 21 this year, and I've been helping out with everything that our town does. I'm very proud to say that I live in Clark for 24 years. It's a great town. I love doing everything. Ralph is the best rec director. We have the best sports, summer camp, everything for our children. Our schools are amazing. I share. Up here, I have a couple of boys, men that their children are my children's teachers and graduated with my son, and I can't be more proud of this award right now, and I just want to say thank you. And my daughter is homesick, and she's going to be really mad that she did not come to see this. But I love helping. That's all I want to ever do, is just help, help, help as much as I possibly can. And yes, I'm hoping to be leaving to go to Florida this summer. We will see what the cards have for us. But right now, I don't even know what to say, other than thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to live in such a great town. I can't say enough about Clark. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, this time I'd like a motion to resume the regular order of business.
So moved.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Toll. Thank you, Councilman Hund. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we're going to go into private session. And do you want to read the resolution, and then we'll talk about it?
Sure. Executive resolution to go into private session to conduct interviews with the candidates selected by the Clark Republican Committee, Albanese, Minetti, and Smith, to fill the unexpired term of Mayor Bonacorso to serve until November 4th, 2025 election, when a permanent replacement is elected to fill the remainder of the unexpired term.
Have a motion, Council?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Do I have a second? Thank you, Councilman Hund. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. This
Okay.
time, we're going to move into a different location so you can all be comfortable in here and have to go out in the cold. Is Edie here? Yep. Okay, council, I'd like to resume the public meeting. Do I have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
So moved. I'll move that. We can start.
Do I have a second?
Second that, please.
Thanks, Councilman Hund. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to go to item 2, mayoral appointment to serve until the November 4th, 2025 election, when a permanent replacement to fill the remainder of the unexpired term is elected by the voters.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Angel Albanese as mayor.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay,
second that.
thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Thank you, Councilman Smith. Madam Clerk, when you're ready, would you call the roll?
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Minetti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Council President Albanese.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mayor Albanese. Please join me at the podium. Please raise your right hand. I, Angel Albanese,
I, Angel Albanese,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of mayor
all the duties of the office of mayor
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right, I'd like to congratulate Mayor Mayor Albanese for replacing Mayor Bonacorso's position. You are now known as the first female mayor of Clark, duly deserved. For those that don't know, Angel is CFO of the Township of East Brunswick for many years, which is a huge town, and she's been on the council for 24 plus years. So congratulations from myself, and I'm sure the rest of the council has the same. So, all right, at this time, we're going to move on to election of council president. At this time, I'd like nominations for council president.
I'd like to nominate Bill Smith for council president.
Thank you, Pat. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Minetti. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion to close nominations. Can I get a motion to close?
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor, and Councilman Hund was second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, got to go do the oath.
Let's just, let me just call the roll for the
Okay, yep.
confirmation. Councilman Hund,
Yes.
Councilman Manitti,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Confirmed. Please join me at the podium. I, William F. Smith,
I, William F. Smith,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments
and
established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of Council President
all the duties of the office of Council President
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay.
Thank you. You want me to sign that? Just here?
Yep.
Good.
Thank you. Yep. Okay.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to the election of Council Vice President. I'd like to direct nominations for Council Vice President. Can I get a motion?
I'd like to nominate Councilman Hunt, please.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. Can I get a second? Thank you, Councilman Toll. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll call for motion to close the nominations. Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Can I get a second?
Second that.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, will the council confirm nomination of Steve Hunt for council president? You want to join Madam Clerk up at the podium? Oh, roll
Call the
call,
roll.
I'm sorry.
Councilman Hund,
Yes.
Councilman Manitti,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor, Councilman Toll,
Yes.
President Smith.
Yes.
Confirmed. Join me at the podium, please. I, Stephen Hund,
I, Stephen Hunt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of Council Vice President
of all the duties of the office of Council Vice President
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my abilities
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
At this time, we're going to move to communications from the mayor and reports of township officers. Mayor Albanese.
Okay, I think it's been about 6 minutes, so I think what I'm going to do at this point in the meeting is give the library report.
Angel, microphone. I'm not hearing it.
Okay.
No. Oh, my phone.
You hearing this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yes,
No? Okay.
thank you.
Well, first, I'd like to once again say thank you to Kim Baglieri. Ralph gave a beautiful list of all the things she's done over all these years, and she's one of our great volunteers, and I hope that she doesn't like it in Florida and that she comes back after the summer's over. So here's the library report from our library director, Megan Kolishik. In the month of December, we had 6,593 visitors to the library and recorded 5,261 website visits. So I think this past year, as you all know, in 2024, we had a real uptick in visits to the library and also website visits. Upcoming events, Take Your Child to the Library Day. This will be held on February 1st, and it's important that everyone registers because the Friends of the Library is sponsoring this event, and what they're going to have is the Eyes of the Wild. So there'll be a lot of different live animals at the library, and then that'll be followed by a frozen treat for kids. And again, once again, that's all sponsored by the Friends of the Library. So I'm sure that's going to be a big event on February 1st. Teen Craft Break, that's open to teens, grades 6 through 12, and that event will be held on Monday, February 3rd at 3:30 p.m. Teens are welcome to break away from studying and make a fun craft. It'll be a heartstring art for Valentine's Day, and they'll be having boba tea and snacks will be served as well. Crafty Kids program will be held for kindergarten through 5th grade on Wednesday, February 7th at 3:30 p.m., so they can stop by and create a craft. And then on Tuesday, February 4th, this is open to everyone of all ages at 7 p.m., the library will sponsor a program honoring George and Martha Washington's love story. This will be reenacted by Elisa Dupuy, who's been at the library many times, excellent actor, along with Kurt Radabaugh, who will portray America's first couple. They'll be talking about how they met, their marriage, families, responsibilities, and of course about their love for one another. And finally, on Tuesday, February 11th, in honor of Black History Month, there'll be a discussion and presentation by, again, another actor, Rick Feingold. He'll discuss the life of Madam C.J. Walker, the first Black American female millionaire. And that concludes the report for the library. Other comments I'll have at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Albanese. Councilman Hund?
Thank you, Councilman President. For the Clark Police Department report for the month of December of 2024, we saw a total of 1,666 calls for the service, including but not limited to 116 ambulance requests, 112 alarm calls, 2 criminal mischiefs, 4 fire department requests, 14 fraud or identity theft, 9 motor vehicle and residential lockouts, 92 motor vehicle accidents, 29 shoplifting and theft, 177 were 911 calls, and 970 were miscellaneous calls. There were a total of 22 adult arrests, including but not limited to 11 for shoplifting, 4 for warrants, 3 for DUI, 1 for terroristic threats, and 1 for simple assaults. The Youth Bureau handled a total of 15 cases, including but not limited to 1 for simple assault, 2 for shoplifting, 6 for offenses against the family, 3 for all other offenses. And I have to say the total number of calls is down significantly, about 25% over on average from pretty much all the months that I've been doing the police report for 9 years. So that's very good to hear. So hopefully that will continue moving forward into January and 2025. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Hunt. Councilman Minitti.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be doing a DPW report on behalf of Councilman Mazzarella. Christmas tree pickup continues until January 29th. DPW would like to remind all of you to remove basketball hoops from nets and the roadway for future snow removal. Electronic drop-off will be January 25th, at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Spring cleanup will begin mid-March and go through April. Bulky and appliance pickups resumes in March, weather permitting. Appointment required the week before the scheduled pickup week. DPW has been making available outside their gate 16-inch pieces of wood free for the taking. Please don't make a mess. If the bin is empty, the DPW will replenish it when it becomes available. No log splitters or chainsaws. If you have any questions or would like to make an appointment, please contact DPW at dpw@rclark.com or call 732-428-8402. For more information, visit rclark.com. All right, I'm also going to do the fire department report for the month of December. In the month of December, the fire department had 46 calls, totaling 524 for the year. The calls included 41 related to odor and alarm calls. 5 calls were for motor vehicle incidents, where 2 of those calls were related to motor vehicle accidents. As always, I want to thank the members of the Clark Fire Department for their hard work and dedication throughout the town. This concludes my reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Minitti. Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you very much. From the Finance Department, we are still in the process of completing the budget. We are waiting for the final state numbers and the auditor to make their final year-end journal entries. As I stated last meeting, we are still planning on having the budget submitted in a timely frame that is required. And with regard to the Clark Volunteer Emergency Squad, I have the report. The squad added 4 cadets to the squad and is in the process of adding additional adult members in January. The call volume is as follows. There was 107 calls in December with 4 mutual aid calls. Total hours responding to calls is approximately 688 man-hours. This does not include any hours the members are on duty and not on calls. Year-to-date call volume is 1,424 calls, with approximately 9,256 man-hours responding on specific calls, not including any training, providing standbys, or times when there are no calls. With regard to membership, anyone interested in becoming a member can email the squad at www.ourclark.com, and that's where the applications can be found as well. Have a unique set of skills? The squad is looking for associate members. These are members that support the efforts of the squad with community relation activities, fundraising, and recruitment efforts, etc., but do not respond to calls. If interested, please reach out to them via the website of ourclark.com. With regard to servicing the community, the squad hosted 2 blood drives in December. Remember, each pint of blood saves 3 lives, and we appreciate your support. Please check our lawn sign for upcoming blood drives. Holiday giving help. It's not too late if you didn't have a chance to respond to the holiday fund drive. The squad has signed a contract to remount one of our ambulances, so it will have a new Ford chassis. Cost is close to $200,000, so any donations is appreciated. Respectfully submitted, Lori Sheldon, trustee. That concludes my reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Councilman Toll.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Wednesday, December the 18th, 2024, the Turnpike Authority, also known as New Jersey DOT, held a hearing on the Union County Commissioner's application for the revitalization of the reservoir. I attended this on behalf of the township, this hearing where they were reviewing the various plans and what they were going to do for the reservoir and how the DOT is directly impacted by the Garden State Parkway. This meeting was well attended by the reservoir activists who came out to support and to make sure that the county would be allowed to have boating underneath the reservoir, our Garden State Parkway Bridge. I got up and spoke on behalf of the proposal to make sure that the county is allowed to have boating underneath the Garden State Parkway Bridge, which the township is in favor of. We need to have, this will be initiate the county to modify their plans and to remove the offensive Wendell Place boat ramp and dock and boat house. So we attended there, we voiced our objections to the county's proposal, and the DOT listened. We're waiting for a verdict and a response from the county and the state. That's all I have for now tonight. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. From the Recreation and Pool Report, the Clark Family Skate Night was this past Saturday at Warrenenko Ice Skating Rink. Although the attendance was lighter than past years, it was still a great night out for the citizens of Clark. The Devils Hockey Night has been rescheduled for Thursday, March 20th. Indoor soccer, recreation basketball, and winter classes are all in full swing. If you have any questions, you could visit our website at ourclark.com, or always stop by the rec center and speak with Emily or Ralph. Or as always, you can call them at 732-428-8400. And that's it from the Rec and Pool Department for this month. All right, Madam Clerk, at this time, we'll move on to ordinances, appropriations, and claims. Public hearing on proposed ordinances.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, no objections have been received in connection with the proposed ordinances. First ordinance is 25-01, an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salaries of Communications Operators for the years 2025 through 2028.
At this time, I will open up the meeting for the public hearing on this ordinance. If anyone would like to come forward regarding this ordinance. Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Thank you, Councilman Hund. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This time, I'd like a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll move that, please.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Can I get a second?
Second that, please.
Thank you, Councilman Hund. Any discussion? Jim, you have anything to add?
The only thing I would add, this is our fourth union contract that we negotiated this year, all successfully. This is just memorializing our final union contract with the dispatchers, and the salary increases will be incorporated into this ordinance.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or discussion? All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Minetti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is ordinance 25-02, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
At this time, I will open up the meeting for a public hearing on this ordinance. If anyone would like to come forward, please do so. Okay, seeing nobody, I'd like a motion to close this portion of the hearing.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Get a second, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Hund. All in favor? Any opposed? This time, I'd like to get a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Any discussion? Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I'll jump in for a second. Again, this is not that we are going to use the 3.5. This just gives us the ability to use the 3.5 in the event we need it. As Councilman O'Connor said, we're still finalizing the budget. I mean, some of the significant increases that we have are associated, again, same thing, health benefits, a $550,000 increase year over year. Pension contributions, about $130,000 year over year. Communications, salary and wages are about $585,000 year over year. Doesn't mean, again, that we're going to be using that money, but we are in the process of making sure that we have the leeway in the event that we do need it.
Great, thank you for the explanation.
I think that's smart. Thank you, Jim. We don't want to be caught off guard. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Minetti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is Ordinance 25-03, an ordinance to supplement Section 7 of Chapter 117 of the Code of the Township of Clark entitled Clothing Donation Bins.
At this time, I'll open up the meeting for the public hearing on this ordinance. If anyone would like to come up and speak about this ordinance, please do so. Okay, seeing nobody, I'd like a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you, Councilman Toll. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, at this time, I'd like to direct a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll move that, please.
Thank you, Councilman Hun. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. Any discussion or questions? Council, Jim, you have anything to add?
Yeah, as we discussed in the past in our meetings, I mean, this is primarily to control where they put the clothing bins. I mean, we've had, in the past, we had to put in an ordinance because people were leaving toys and leaving stuff outside. We wanted to, close that gap. One of the things that we did was limit the number of places that they could put it. We've had a lot of success over the last few years. We haven't had any issues with cleanliness. The companies that have been picking them up have been picking them up cleaning them out and emptying them timely, cleaning up around them, so we haven't had any issues. We had a couple of requests to put them in the golf course, the LCI, and the commercial industrial areas within town. Feel it makes sense. This is in discussion with the police department who actually issue the permits for it. So, we think this is another good move, and it still lets us have the benefit of keeping control over where they're going to have these clothing bins.
Great, thank you.
So basically, there's two things. One, they have to be zoned for it, and two, they have to get a permit. So both those things match, they can have the donation.
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Manitti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted.
Now we're going to move to payment of claims. Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you. I have reviewed the bills for the amount totaling $220,102.76.
Great, thank you. At this time, we're going to have the citizens' hearing on the agenda. I will open up the meeting for anyone who would like to come up and speak about anything that is on the agenda. If you'd like to come forward, please state your name and address to the clerk. Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, when you're ready, Madam Clerk, we'll move to resolutions.
Thank you. The first resolution is amending Resolution 25-16 to modify the section of the Township's cash management plan regarding electronic disbursement claimant certification as required under NJSA 40A:5-16A and NJAC 5:30-9A.6 and 5:31-4.
I get a motion, please?
I'll move that, please.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Second.
I'll second that, please.
Thank you, Councilman Hun. Any discussion? Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, this is just from an efficiency standpoint, that anything that's under the bid threshold, that the claimant signatures will not be required. This is all in compliance with the New Jersey Administrative Code, as indicated in the resolution. So we're just updating our cash management plan to adopt that change.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Manitti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 7 is authorizing the mayor or business administrator to execute an agreement with Phoenix Advisors for professional services as the municipal advisor and continuing disclosure services, effective January 1st, 2025, for a one-year period.
Have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilman Hun. A second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Manitti. Any discussion? Go ahead, Mayor Albanese.
Okay. We've been using Phoenix Advisors for years. We're very satisfied in all their assistance, and they'll be advising us and helping us in any debt that we're raising. That's basically their role. And also keeping records and filings with the SEC on a timely basis on behalf of the township.
Great, thank you for the explanation. Anyone else have any questions or discussion? If not, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 8 is authorizing the health officer to enter into an agreement with Atlantic Health System for health education services billed at $64.55 per hour for the first 225 hours and $70 per hour beyond the 225 hours, funded by the New Jersey Association of County and City Health Officers grant and pending adoption of the 2025 municipal budget.
I get a motion? I'll move that. Thank you, Councilman Minetti. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is using grant money, and primarily they, evaluate the township's health needs, that we develop programs, health programs, healthy eating and things along those lines, and then also assist in any type of policies. It's up to 225 hours at $64.55. So again, it's something that we need to have from a statutory perspective, and we have not had any issues in the past using them.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 9 is authorizing the purchase of TV studio hardware and software through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, contract number CK04, subcontract number 24-38, in the amount of $21,403.18.
Have a motion, please?
Move that.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Any discussion or questions?
Yeah, this is an upgrade of a piece of equipment that will let us broadcast on Comcast and YouTube. And now that Altice is going to be moving into, or Optum is going to be moving into town, hopefully in the next few months, it's probably even more important that we have updated software and hardware to make sure that people could see the meetings on YouTube.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 10 is appointing Daniel Majeski and Alejandro Ciprian as members of the Clark Volunteer Fire Department effective January 21st, 2025.
Get a motion?
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilman Minetti. Get a second?
Second that, please.
Thank you, Councilman Hund. Self-explanatory. It's great to have more volunteers. Get a roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 11 is appointing William Gribb to the Planning Board as alternate 1 member to fill the unexpired term of Joseph Arancio, effective January 21st, 2025 until December 31st, 2025.
You get a motion?
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilman Minetti. Second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Any discussion or questions? Go ahead,
Just
Mayor
make a
Albanese.
comment. I think that Bill Gribb will be a very important addition to the planning board. He's always expressed his opinions in a level-headed way, and we're sorry to see Joe go. We thank him, but we've had good experience with Michael Altman. He also ran on a different party ticket, and he's one of the best planning board members that we have. So wishing Bill luck, and we appreciate his efforts on the planning board.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 12 is authorizing the purchase of a fuel dispensing system with upgraded software under state contract number 42262 through White Marsh Corporation.
You get a motion? Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Any discussion? Jim, you have anything to add?
This is a much-needed upgrade. It's what controls our fuel dispensing system. It's currently running on a Windows 98 platform, which is out of support life. In addition to that, we're starting to have some problems with it, so we're in the process of asking you to approve an upgrade.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, we're going to go roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor. Yes. Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Number 13 is authorizing release of performance guarantees for work completed at L'Oreal Research and Development, 30 and 100 Terminal Avenue.
You get a motion? Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilman Maniti.
And then, it's a release of the bonds or the guarantees, been reviewed by the construction code official and the engineer. Everything's up to date, everything's to their satisfaction, and been signed off on.
Great, fantastic. All right, roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti. Yes. Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Consent agenda resolutions. First one, number 14, is authorizing the tax collector to make the proper adjustments for 100% property tax exemption of Block 179.01, Lot 8, in accordance with a directive from the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. 15 is authorizing the tax collector to refund overpayment of sewer fees in the amount of $3,622.89. 16 is authorizing the tax collector to apply sewer account balance adjustments as credit in the amount of $230. And 17 is authorizing the tax collector to refund overpayment of taxes in the amount of $280.62.
Can I have a motion to adopt?
Move that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Second? Thank you, Councilman Maniti. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hund.
Yes.
Councilman Maniti.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes. All right, do we have any new business on the calendar?
There is no new business.
Great, thank you. All right, at this time, we're going to go to public comments. Open the meeting up to the public. You can come forward, speak about anything you would like. You have 5 minutes in duration, and please state your name and address and address your comments to the council as a body. Would anyone like to come forward?
Hello, Mary Semler, 56 Conger Way. So my first question is, did the BPU approve the application for Optimum to come to our town?
We didn't get the official approval, but what we understand, it's just a standard process, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, but we don't have the official approval.
We don't have the official approval.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so a few months ago, I came here and asked some questions about our staffing, specifically questions about our public safety officer that we had in the past, or public safety director, also our DPW director, asked if we had any open positions within our town, on the police force, or any place else, as well as administrative staff. And our former mayor said that we did not have any open positions, and at the time, he was filling the role of the director of the DPW and not being compensated for that role. So my question here, again tonight, is if you can share with the people of Clark, if in fact we have any positions open. I know Edie had mentioned at a previous meeting that she was doing the work in her office, short staff, and I don't know whether that means there's a vacancy there or somebody is out on leave, or there's just, something else happening within that office. And also, do we have any plans to fill the position or fill the role of the DPW director, since that role is now vacant?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. To address your question on the clerk's office, I know one of them was out on leave, correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Medical leave?
Yes.
But you are fully staffed. I believe there was an opening for a police officer, correct, Captain Akaboom, Captain Lott, recently? Other than that, Jim, are there any openings you're aware of in the town?
As a civil service town, all of our openings will be through civil service.
Okay, thank you. Great, thank you.
Good evening. John Greaves, 30 Parkway Drive. I wanted to come up and, basically express my disappointment because I saw that we have a new person in the mayor's seat today, but it was only 3 weeks ago that we swore in our former mayor, Sal Bonacorso. And the thing that I'm disappointed about is there's no mention here as to why we have a different mayor now. Nobody's mentioning what happened. He pled guilty and was convicted of conspiracy to commit official misconduct, conspiracy to commit forgery, and I think it's important to move forward. I'm happy to see that happen, but I don't think moving forward means pretending something didn't happen. And I saw a couple days after the plea agreement was entered into that there, I believe it was Angel Albanese that put a statement out that said that he was dealing with a private matter and it wasn't something that should be spoken about. And that's not the case. This is a public situation. He was convicted of official misconduct, which affects this town, and the conspiracy to commit forgery. That's something that speaks very highly about someone's credibility. And to act like that's not something that people should be worried about or that it's a private matter. It's not a private matter. He's a public official. He did something wrong in his capacity as a public official. I don't think that's something that we should just sort of sweep under the rug. And tonight, there was no mention of why we were getting a new mayor. We just swore in a new mayor. And I'm glad that we are moving on. But like I said, I don't think that it should be something that we sort of just pretend didn't happen. I was hoping that tonight might be a situation where you guys were saying we're going to do things differently. We're going to do a better job. Basically, I would like to see, in the future, some acknowledgement of what happened, some condemnation of what happened, because I never hear any of you guys say anything negative about what happened, and then say, hey, we're going to promise or a pledge to do better so that things like this can't happen. And I just wanted to express my disappointment because I think as a resident of Clark, I know there's other people who feel like me, and I know that we are on different sides of the aisle politically, but we all live in the same town, and I don't think I've ever come up here with something that wasn't genuinely something that I care about as a father, as a resident of this town, and I don't think I've tried to be unfair. And I'd like to see the page turn without forgetting the past, and like I said, a pledge to do better. That's my expression of disappointment. And then the question that I have is, so we have Angel Albanese, who was on the council, who is now in the mayor's seat for the moment. So we have an empty seat on the council, that's correct, until November, right? The council.
I'll explain it when you're done with your questions.
Okay. And then so part of that, the question would be, if she were to run for council, for mayor, and then win, would there be another year where we still have an empty council seat because?
I'll explain it.
So yeah, basically, I'd like to know what the deal with an empty council seat with her being mayor would be, and what the situation with that would be.
Okay.
That's it.
You have any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
Thank you, John. So the way the process works, since the mayor stepped down in the beginning of January, the Republican committee has 30 days to pick, because they have the majority, pick a, what's it? Oh, if you want to.
The mayor forfeited his office as a result of the conviction. That's what happened. The mayor's the office of mayor was therefore vacant. The process is the Republican Municipal Committee selected 3 nominees. Of those 3 you heard of them in the beginning because they were mentioned. Of those 3 nominees, the Township Committee selected 1 to fill the unexpired term of the mayor's term until the November 4 election. So yes, someone will be running for mayor in November. The council has now a vacancy because, as you've noted, council president is now mayor. That seat will also be filled in like manner. So within 15 days of today, the Republican Municipal Committee has to submit 3 nominees to fill the vacant council seat. The council has 15 days thereafter within which to choose from among those 3 candidates for the person who will serve again until November. So there will be 2 elections in all likelihood. The council can elect to leave that seat vacant, I believe. But there will likely be 2 elections in November, one for mayor and the other for the vacant at-large council seat. Does that explain? Do you understand that? Does that answer your question?
And then once the election on November 4th takes place, whoever runs for mayor and runs for the open council seat, they will fill the remainder of the terms through 2028.
Yeah.
The remaining 3 years, once the election is certified by the county clerk, which is usually 2-3 weeks afterwards?
2 weeks.
Usually 2 weeks after. So sometime mid-November, as long as it's certified, then whoever's elected mayor and the empty council seat will now serve the remaining 3 years of the terms.
I don't know council's intentions. I have a suspicion what they may be, and I suspect that that seat, that empty vacant seat on the council will be filled soon. And then there'll be an election in November to fill it more permanently until the end of the term for which councilperson Albanese was elected.
And Madam Clerk, if anyone wants to run for that, when do they have to have their names in by? Because there's a primary in June.
There's a primary in June. I don't have the exact date. We can put that up on the website. It's, the nominating petitions are usually due in April, but I don't know the exact date.
All right. Anyone else like to come forward on the public comments?
Daniel Fuchs, 333 Carolina Street. I too am a little disappointed that nobody said anything about Sal resigning. I'm not surprised, a little disappointed. With that said, I do want to get behind moving forward. There's a couple of things that sort of, I guess, left over from all the Sal scandals is the 2 officers that are still on leave. I believe they're getting paid still, and getting our police department back from under county control. So I was just wondering if we can possibly get a status update on that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So the officers are still on leave until, I believe, Mark, you can jump in, they're in court?
I don't, there is pending litigation. The 3 officers sued the town. The 3 officers sued the town because of certain events that happened through the Attorney General's office in the Union County Prosecutor's office exercising their supersession authority. But they were doing it on behalf of the town. So what they did, the township may or may not be responsible for. We are defending that action. I am not defending it. And I don't know the status of that action. It's been pending for a while. You know, that's really all I know. I do not, we cannot simply terminate the officers, certainly not while there's pending litigation. And there is a variety of protocol that must be observed in order to effectuate such an action. We have a civil service town, and we have some rules we have to follow, and they can be quite difficult and restrictive. So that's really where we are with that, as far as I know. I'm not privy to it because I'm not defending those cases. We have Labor Counsel for that.
Thank you for the explanation.
I just would like to add one thing to that. I mean, the holdup really is getting information from the Attorney General's office that we've been waiting for. It was given to the judge the 26th of December. The judge has the information, going through it and determining what's going to be valid or not. So again, it's not us dragging our feet. We had the arbitrator, assigned probably a year ago, maybe a little bit more. But again, it's the lawsuit that's against us, and until that's settled, there's not going to be a lot of movement in it.
Thank you. And the two people from the county who are in the positions of running or heading the department at this time are not paid by their town, they're paid by the county. Anyone else like to come forward? All right, I guess seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close this portion. Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Get a second, please. Second. Thank you, Councilman Toll. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, now we're going to move to Mayor Council professional comments. Mayor Albanese.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to say thank you to DPW for their hard work this weekend. In my opinion, we dodged a bullet. We could have had a worse storm than we had, and I'm very happy with everything that was coordinated by Jim, Scott McCabe, and the team out there. Unfortunately, we're going to have frigid cold weather for a few more days, which means that possibly ice will melt, ice will freeze, so we need to really be careful. That's my report on the storm. A couple of things that I want to mention to everyone is we'll be releasing the 2025 resident guide. Currently, it's available online. And within the next week or so, we'll be getting it out. So if you go to www.ourclark.com, you'll find the resident guide. In case you're wondering what are the timing of various pickups, DPW service, public meetings, events, and dates, it's all on that website calendar. And if you like, you can subscribe to Clark News. If you go on to the news flashes at www.ourclark.com/notify me, and you can select different options of information to be provided. As far as the comment from John Greaves, yes, I did make a statement to the public when I was notified, so the public is aware that the mayor resigned. As far as anyone's opinion, they can express it themselves. But I think we're here for the legislative business this evening, and we're following the agenda. I do want to make my own personal comments, basically two comments. I think at the reorganization meeting, I said I asked myself 4 sole questions each day, and one of them was, who am I? And a friend of mine bought me this book, and when I walked over to the desk, that reminded me of it. And it's a book called The Book of Awakenings. She had lost her husband, and she thought this would be helpful to me. And in it, it's a calendar of daily reflections. And one of them, January 19th, is remembering and forgetting. Frequently, we rush off and we're looking forward all the time of who are we, what do we want to do, what do we want to accomplish, what are our goals. You have to sometimes slow down and remember, because hurrying forgets. So this section's called Remembering and Forgetting. And it really made me reflect on everything that's happened here, and also to the mayor. And I think it's important for us to remember really what Mayor Sal has done. When he talked about all the things he's accomplished, yes, we all worked as a team together, but he was a driving force in getting all these things done in the town. And I think we should remember that and take note, which brought me to mind another book that I was reading, Brian Tracy's Leadership Challenge. It says, this is the last part of the book, love is the beginning and the end. Your purpose in life is to become a totally loving person. Life is a study of attention, is a matter of priorities of choice. Your life is what you make it by the priorities you set and the things you choose to focus your attention upon. Your job is to live joyously, and this is only possible by filling your mind with thoughts of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Only one life that soon is past, and only what's done with love will last. And this is the secret of the ages, the true foundation of human greatness. It's the core value of the most essential unifying principle of truly exceptional people. And the most wonderful thing about love is that you can fill your life with it by deciding to do so. The choice is yours. It always has been. I wish you luck, I wish you success and happiness. And above all, I wish you love. That's in the last sentences in that book, Leadership Challenge by Brian Tracy. I think what this message is telling us, of all the things that to sustain a leader over time, love is the most lasting. And reading this passage has made me think of Mayor Sal Bonacorso. He summarized his contributions to the town at our reorganization meeting. Yes, we all worked as a team, as I said, but he was a true leader and had a vision for this town. And it's hard to imagine leaders getting up every day, putting in the long hours and hard work it takes to get extraordinary things done. And to me, that was Sal. And without having their hearts in it, he had his heart in it all the way. The best kept secret of successful leaders is love, staying in love with leading, with the people they work with the organizations they produce, and with those who honor the organization by using its products and services, such as the citizens of Clark. Leadership is not an affair of the head. Leadership is an affair of the heart. And to me, when I read this, it really epitomizes, when I think of stepping into the shoes as a mayor here in Clark, how much love Sal gave to this town. Growing up here and all the dedication and time he put into this town. He could have been doing other things with his family, with his job, with his business, but he gave it all for the town. So I thank him for that. You know, I spent my last few minutes on the council here tonight. I just want to thank the council for the tremendous years working together with you, and it's been great. So looking for new challenges. Look forward to working with Jim, and kind of back where we started. And we even have Al here. Al's here with us. The three of us are here. We ran together, so we're back together here, Jim, and you know, we couldn't be happier with everything that you've been doing here. And I did meet with the employees because, of course, everyone's nervous. I met with them last Tuesday and assured them that, you know, everything is fine. We're going to continue. Keep doing what you're doing. It's important because those employees are the face of the township. We come here to these meetings, but we're not there every day servicing the citizens of Clark. They are the true daily civil servants to this township, and I know I speak for the council as well, we greatly appreciate that. I'm going to be learning a lot, taking on this new role. As was mentioned by Councilman Smith, I do have experience in government, and I'm glad I chose that career as an alternate in my past in life, and I'm really happy and honored to serve the citizens of Clark as your mayor, and we'll take it from there. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Albanese. Mayor Hunt, Councilman Hunt.
Don't jump ahead there.
Yeah.
First off, congratulations to Mayor Albanese on your appointment as the new mayor of Clark. Being nominated and approved by your fellow town council members is a testament to our confidence in you, in your leadership and dedication to the community. I wish you great success and as you take on this important role, and look forward to seeing the positive impact of your leadership of Clark. So congratulations again. If you need anything, you know, all of us, I'll quickly speak for all of us, we'll be there for you, but for speaking for myself, if there's anything that you need from me, I'll be more than happy to assist you and help in any manner. Congratulations to Kim Baglieri on her award tonight for being a volunteer. I've known Kim for many years. Our sons graduated together, so thank you for all you've done for the many years. Congratulations to the 4 new candidates on the EMS squad and to the 2 new members of the fire department squad. With regards to the comments that were made, I believe everyone in the town was aware of what happened with Sal Bonacorso due to the news coverage of it. So for us to have to come up here and repeat what had happened, I'm not sure if that's necessary. I think we all know what happened on that. My personal opinion on that is that it was a personal issue for him. It was not a issue of the town councils towards us. Do I approve of what he's done in the past? I've said this in the past. We have a difference of opinion on that. But the last series of events, those are his personal issues, and he made his personal decisions on what he had to do for the best stuff for himself, his family, and for the town. So that's what I have to say about that. If you'd like to speak to me more on that, I'm more than happy to discuss it. And that's all that I have to say, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Hunt. Councilman Manitti.
Thank you, Council President. I'm also going to address the 2 comments that were made tonight. The first one by Mr. Fuchs, and I'm glad to see that you and I are now on the same page, that we can move forward and close that chapter of the book and just agree that, you know, we have to move forward into the future. As far as Mr. Greaves is concerned, I mean, I'm a little surprised that he came up and asked the question of what happened, when on his Facebook page, all he did was post what happened, including post news articles, comments, and even attended the plea session over at the county. So for him to come up and say, what happened, I was a little surprised. But with that being said, I was fully supportive of Mayor Bonacorso fulfilling his term. I found out the day before his plea that he decided to make the decision, and I supported him. Not only supported him as my mayor and our mayor for the last 24 years, but I thanked him for my friendship for the last 40. I think he's done a great job in this town to make this town what it is today. I believe we all moved into this town or stayed in this town for a reason, and I believe that Mayor Sal Bonacorso was a big part of that. He's put a lot of things in place that I'm proud to say that I'm from Clark and that I live here. I'm just, you know, I go through these articles and these requests from Mr. Greaves, who has nothing ever of something nice to say about this town. Never shown his face at a football game or a basketball game supporting our athletes, complains about our Board of Education and our teachers. Even at one point in time, post on his Facebook that none of us have kids in our schools, which is totally false. My son, who's a junior, who I'm very proud of, gets educated by our great teachers. You know, I'm proud of our Board of Education and the things that they do for our children. I'm also proud of our DPW, how they put our township first, and they work hard on the weekends to clear the snow for us to travel and to make sure that they pick up our branches and our leaves during the times that needs to be done. Our police department, in the middle of the night, knocks on our doors to tells us our garages are open and, you know, protects us every single day. So I'm proud of this town. I love this town, and I'd like to see you come up to this mic a little bit more and talk about the good things that happen in this town. Again, you know, John, you could say what you want. I'm talking. I didn't interrupt you, and I wish you wouldn't do it to me. But, you know, come up every once in a while and tell us about the good time that you had at the Unico Feast or at the Christmas tree lighting where you brought your kids, and stop saying how you're feared for your 2 young children in this town. And I'm tired of hearing it for the last year and a half, and I'm going to say it because I don't think anybody else will. But if you're that unhappy, when the hell are you leaving? You only been here 3-4 years, and you haven't embraced this town at all. maybe it's time you embrace it. You embrace our sports programs, you embrace our athletes, and you come with, enthusiastic, motivated ideas instead of asking us what happened in the past. And hopefully you'll get over this too, and we'll move forward. With that being said, I want to congratulate Kim. I know Kim a long time. She's done a wonderful job in this town, volunteering a lot of her time. Ralph recognizing her and doing a great job over at the rec program, but giving Kim that, acclimate was just, just wonderful. Daniel and Alejandro, again, somebody said before, nice seeing, the fire department growing by these young people who come on and want to volunteer their time in our town. And I also want to welcome Bill Gribbs. I'm part of the planning board. I think he'll do a great job. He's a good guy as much as I know, and I think he'll do a good job on the planning board. And congratulations to Angel, Mayor Albanese. I know Angel being part of this board for the last 4 years, and she's just smart. She knows her thing. She's just a professional, and I am really, really proud to be part of her team. And I know she's going to do a great job, and I'm here to, give her all the support she needs, and, I know you're going to do a phenomenal job. With that, those are my remarks, and I'll see you next meeting.
Thank you, Councilman Eddie. Councilman O'Connor.
Yes, thank you. First off, I want to thank Sal for all the work he did in this town over the past 28 years, and congratulate Angel as our new mayor. Angel has been in this town's government for the past 24 years and has helped build what we now have. Angel is also a CPA, and I look forward to her having a different perspective from the finance side. I wish you nothing but the best in your new role as mayor, and I look forward to working with you in your administration. I'd also like to thank and congratulate both Bill and Steve on their new roles as council president and council vice president. Again, I look forward to working with you throughout this year. Again, now I'm repeating, congratulate to Kim. Again, not to diminish it that I'm repeating it, but it goes for, it's worth saying again. Volunteer of the year. We have 2 new volunteers on the fire department. Councilman Minetti hit on it. Volunteerism is huge in this town. It's big in this town because people want to give back, right? I'm a product of this town, born and raised here. Sal is a product of this town, born and raised here. Jimmy Minetti, we differ on whether he was born and raised here. He wasn't born here, but he's lived here most of his life. And Brian as well. Brian, lifelong resident as well. Right? We all look to give back to our town through volunteerism, positivity, and really building the foundation for our children to teach them that giving back is good. Again, whatever your thoughts on Sal are, you either like him or you don't. Nothing's going to change. But you can't deny the fact that Sal built this town along with the council to what it is today. The DPW, bulky pickup. I remember when bulky pickup was every 4 years. That just happened to coincide with an election year. Now you get it every month. There are a lot of services and things that he's done with the council to make this a great town. If you choose not to see it as a great town, listen, you could always see things as a glass half empty, but I like to look at it as a glass half full. And having that positive perspective passes on to other people, and they see positivity as well. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be great. I shouldn't say that. Nothing's ever going to be 100%. But striving for 100% is what you should do. Focus on the positive, not the negative. And we heard tonight from some people in the crowd, it's time to move forward. Let's move forward. You don't move forward by talking about yesterday. You move forward about talking about the progress we're going to make in the future. And hopefully, you guys stand by your word that we're going to look forward. We have a new mayor, and from my perspective, in working with Angel for the past 20 years, she's the right person for this role. She knows government, she's smart, very thoughtful, and I've had the opportunity to spend many, many hours of her on the campaign trail as her and I were campaign partners. So if you don't know Angel, you're missing something because she's a person worth knowing and she'll do great things for this town. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. Councilman Toll.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The first election in the history of this township took place on April the 11th, 1864, when a man by the name of Robert A. Russell was elected to become the first mayor. Back then, it was committee form, so they did it yearly. Mayor Russell was, nobody really knows about this, but he was the owner of a manufacturer of doorknobs, Russell Irwin brass fixtures for ships as well as doorknobs. You got brass knobs for your door, and that's what he owned the entire company. But he had his summer home in Clark, and he ended up becoming the first mayor of the township. Tonight, we've elected, or we're moving forward electing, the 41st mayor of Clark, and that's Angel Albanese. She was the longest-serving councilwoman in the history of the town from 2001 to 2025. But I would be remiss without talking about trailblazers before, and what women came before Angel, what she's going to be building upon their legacy. The first woman who ever ran for public office in the township of Clark was Norma Davenport. That was in 1964. She was a councilwoman at large, Republican, and she lost in the general election of '64. No other woman served until Alma Mae Kumpf. You know the name Kumpf from Kumpf School. Her husband was the Board of Education director, Carl H. Kumpf. Alma Mae Kumpf became a councilwoman in 1972, served 73, 4, 5, was reelected in 76, but then was stricken with cancer and died in office. She was replaced by Virginia Apalian. Virginia Apalian served in 1976 for the unexpired term of Alma Mae Kumpf, and then went on and became First Ward Councilwoman from 1979 to 82. She was the first woman to serve as council president in 1982. We'll continue on. Ruth DeLuca, Third Ward Councilwoman, 1983 to 86. She then left the council, came back as a councilwoman at large, 89 to 90. Then she moved to Pennsylvania with her family. Carol Pluta, Third Ward Councilwoman, 1987 to 1990. Lizbeth Hudak, Fourth Ward. She served from 1995 to 1998, and she served as council president in 1998. It was rare that a woman would serve as a council member, but if they did, to become a council president was very significant. Marie Stoika, councilwoman at large, 1993 to 2000, and she had also served as a council president. Jean Anderson, Second Ward councilwoman, 1981 to 1982. These ladies were the trailblazers in Clark's history. Not kind of recent history, but now Angel will build from that and continue for the 21st century for Women's Lib and for continuing doing good progress and good government. Now I'm going to switch over. So those we just lost. Mrs. Florence Sis White, age 100, a lifetime resident of Clark, and somebody who gave back to her community throughout her life. Joan Marconi, lifetime Clarkite, founding member of the Grand Centurions. I went to school with her children, Anthony, Lisa, and Robert. Anthony Trillo, longtime Clark resident and a parishioner of St. Agnes Church. Again, people who have lived with us, who are part of our community, who have passed away, we take note and we honor them with respect. That's all I have tonight, Mr. President. Thank you. I'll give you more history lessons on Sal and the rest of what has been accomplished in the last 24 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Toll. Madam Clerk, you have anything to add?
It's all been said. I agree with all of you. Congratulations, Mayor Albanese, Council President Smith, and Vice President Hund. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Mr. Dugan?
No, I have no comment.
Jim, you have anything to add?
Well, congratulations, and look forward to working with the new council president, vice president, and also the mayor. I've known the mayor for 26, 27, 28 years now. Ran for council with her, Al Barr, and Mayor Bonaccorso. And all I got to say is that, it's going to be a change. One of the reasons I came here, I've been in town from 1991 through 2020. Originally, I wasn't going to take the job when it was when I was asked. The mayor talked me into it. I knew the town he ran. I knew all of the things he brought to this town over those 30 years that I was living here, and I knew where we were back in 1991. I didn't grow up here like Councilman Minetti, but I know how it was, and I know what he brought this town to, and I thought that I could help and bring it and continue to bring it to be the best. And we continue down that route. And I think with, Mayor Albanese, we're going to continue down that road. There's going to be no change, no issues, and it's going to be, smooth sailing ahead. So appreciate the confidence that, the mayor has in me, and we're going to continue down that route. So, I hope people don't think that there's going to be a big change, because, from an operational standpoint, everybody's still in place, and policy standpoint, everything is still in place. So congratulations again, and we appreciate all the work that, the mayor has done as I was a resident of the town, and I look forward to working with the new mayor, going forward.
Great, thank you, Jim. I'm glad you did decide to take the position, because you've been a huge asset to the town for the last few years. So I really appreciate all the hard work you've put in to a town you grew up in. Congratulations to Mayor Albanese, again, the first female Mayor Clark, but it was well-deserved, well-earned. So looking forward to working with you. And Madam Clerk, looking forward to working hand-in-hand with you again, as we did a few years ago. And again, congratulations to Kim Bagliari. What she's done for this town, volunteering, is just tremendous. So again, congrats to her. And that's all I have this evening, so a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Councilman Toll. Second? Second. Councilman O'Connor, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.